once again. Fine. So yesterday we have discussed that we can create workflows by using this new tab which is available at the left top corner, where you can find 4 different types of workflows. First one is a sequence, second one is a flow chart, third one is a state machine, and fourth one is a global handler. So this global handler is basically used when you are dealing with exception handling. So right now in initial phase, we are not working with this global handler, but you must have knowledge about sequence, flowchart, and state machine. We can create your project by using sequence, flowchart, and state machine. So already yesterday we have gone through some of the simple things by using sequence. So I'll just to demonstrate the same, what happens in sequence, what happens in flowchart, and what happens in state machine. So let us start with the sequence. You can just click here and you can create new sequence, or you can just click here and you can search name of which workflow you want. If you want to sequence, then you can just type a sequence. You can just click here and your sequence will be directly come into your main window. If you are taking new sequence from here, then there will be separate workflow will be created. You can see you have to name it the new sequence. It depends on your requirement. If you want your sequence in main workflow, then you can just directly go into this. Let me delete this sequence. You can click on this plus sign and click there only if you want your workflow in this main only. Just a second, it's my laptop's issue. And if you want to take a flowchart, again you have to do the same. It's not working. Let me, if it from here it's not working, then you can just take here from here also, just dragging and dropping. There are different methods of taking sequence. Directly clicking there by searching in activity panel, or if you want to create new sequence, then you can directly click here. Multiple options are available. So I'm again starting with the same sequence concept. It's a simple sequence. I want to just demonstrate what is the difference between sequence, flowchart, and state machine. So whenever you have a set up actions to do, like a first activity is like entering some value, then second activity is like doing some second operation, third operation, fourth operation. So there is no any decisions, those are in that those are happening with your process. So in that case you should use sequence type of workflow. What does that sequential actions means? Let me tell. Let's see, I want to add two numbers, for example. Let's see, I want to perform some addition operations. So for addition of two numbers, what are the two important things I require? I should take two values from user and I'll add those values. So to take first value from user, which activity I should use? I'm expecting input from you. Guys, please respond. Which activity I should take to take one number from user? Yesterday we have discussed to take input from user, which activity we are using?
Integer.
Yeah, integer, that is correct. That is a type of data we are taking to take the number. But activity, I'm asking, activity, we are taking activity, some activity.
Message box.
Message box is the output to
Input,
show.
input.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Input dialog box. Yes.
Input dialog box.
Yes. So input dialog box is used to take the inputs from user. Name of this input dialog itself tells what we are doing. Input dialog means taking inputs from user. So here in title, that is the window title, not mandatory. Still, I'm just using first. Here we are telling to user enter first number for addition. Okay, this is the label. Label means that is not changing. It's asking to user enter your first number, and whatever user is entering, that number we should store in some variable. I'm using control K and storing that in a first number. So as discussed yesterday, I should go in a variable panel and check variable type. Which variable type I should select?
Integer.
Yeah, integer. I should select integer, so that whatever the values user is entering, that should be in a variable type number only. So after entering first number, we need two numbers, right? To add numbers, we have at least two numbers. So again, I have to take another number. Which activity I should take? That is again input dialog box. Am I right? Second number I want to take from user. Any doubt? Enter second number for addition. So here again, I have to store this value in a variable second number. So again, go to the variable panel and change the type of variable as an integer. Okay. Till this you are clear? You are good with this? Taking two numbers from user?
Yes.
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 And now what is the action? I want to add two numbers. So there is one activity which is available in UiPath that is called as assign activity. What assign activity does? It assigns some value to third variable. Whatever you are doing here, that is assigned to two variable. So you have to create one variable that is you are assigning. Let's say I am taking sum as a variable, and that sum is also integer, because we are adding two numbers now. Both numbers are integer, so third number should be integer, and put that in a 2, and in value box, what should be there? First number plus second number. Understood what I am doing? If I'll tell you do addition of two numbers, what you are doing? You are taking first number, using plus symbol, taking second number, and in mind you are calculating 1 plus 1 equal to 2. Same we are doing here. We are just taking new variable to store your two numbers addition. Very simple thing. Understood what I had done here? Any doubt?
Sir, when you click on that tab in front of that sum, you have written the first number plus second number.
Yes.
When you click on that tab, there's opening a window. So
Yes.
how to open that window?
Yes. Yesterday we discussed. Just click first here, then you can go here. In value box, it can be just make it maximize. After clicking there,
Okay.
these three dots are there. So after clicking there, it maximize the window like this one.
Okay.
So in property panel,
Okay.
you can just elaborate your window. That's it. Now, if you want to print what is sum, you can just take one message box. As yesterday discussed, we can show whatever we are doing in a message box to find out the correct result is there or not. And let me run this workflow. So enter first number for addition. Let's see, I'm entering 12. enter second number for addition. Let's say 32. And addition is a 44. Let me customize this message box. The addition of two numbers is, and as we have discussed, you should use dot to string if you are using message box. Then you can see there will be customized box. Four plus 6. The addition of two number is 10. So this is a sequence type of things. We are having some input sequentially, and we are performing some operation. There is no any decisions we are doing here. We are taking here.
Sir, is it mandatory to write the plus sum dot to string?
Yeah. What is the thing? Let me explain you. Here you are combining two different things. Here you are combining string plus variable. Whenever you are combining two different things, you have to put that plus. That is mandatory.
Okay. And dot to string?
If you have a string variable, then at that time it is not required. But since our sum variable is a integer type, and this message box only accepts string, so we need to convert that to string.
Okay.
Fine.
So that is the format to means convert that variable to string. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other doubts? If no, then we can move to flowchart. You can use sequence and flowchart in combined manner only. Combined manner also. For example, if you want to take flowchart after the sequence, you can take flowchart by just going to flowchart activity. Just search flowchart. You can take flowchart here also. If you want to take separately, you can take separately. Since both are the containers, you can take sequence in flowchart, flowchart in sequence. Everything is working. There is no any issue if you are working flowchart in sequence, sequence in a flowchart, flowchart in a state machine. Everything is a working there. No any worries. So if you are good with this sequence, let's move towards flowchart. Are you good with this one?
Good to go.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So let me comment this one. If you want to comment any sequence or any activities, you can use Control D. If you're using Control D, then whatever you have done, that is directly commented. And if you want to enable the same, you can use Control E. That is a shortcut to enable and disable the activities. Now I have to take flowchart. So I am dragging and dropping here flowchart. You can see if you open this flowchart, you can find start there, and you can just take the activities whatever you want. Okay. Understood how we are dragging and dropping flowchart activity?
Yes.
Okay. Now let me take one input dialog box. And in input dialog box, let's say I'm entering some roll number, and according to roll number, I have to divide the particular class. For example, in one class, we have 60 students, and all the 60 students we can't map in only in one single class. We have to create two batches of 60 students. So if let's see, I have to decide how many candidates will go for first class and how many first batch and how many students will go for second batch. If I want to divide equally, let's say my criteria is those students are having even roll number, they will go to the A class, and those students are having odd number, they will go to the B class. This is the criteria I want to tell. This is a decision I want to make. So initially, what I'm expecting, user should enter the roll number, and if roll number is even, then I will divide those students, those are having even number, even roll number, in a class A or in a batch A. And if those students are having odd roll number, then I'll divide them to class or batch B. So that is a simple task. Are you understanding what I'm telling you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. My total class is of 60 strength, and I have to divide these 30 students in a batch A and 30 in a batch B. So that decision I have to take. So before taking decision, I should have a roll number of students. So entering roll number first is important. So to take user input, which activity we are using? Input dialog, na? So here we are asking to user enter roll number and storing that roll number in again one value, that is a roll. Now, this is a very important thing that you have to deal with. Now, after entering username, you have to take the decision. And to take the decision in flowchart, we have a flow decision activity. So in flow decision, there are two options, true or false. If the condition is true, then it will go to the left side. If the condition is false, then it will go to the right side. And that condition we have to define in a condition block of properties window. Just click on flow decision, go in a condition block, and give whatever you want to set the condition. Let's see your roll number is even, means if roll number mod 2 is equal to 0, since our variable may be string, that we should convert into integer. So condition defined is if roll number mod equal to 0, roll number mod 2 equal to 0, then it should go to the left. That is true. If it is not mod 2 equal to 0, then it will go to the false. This is the decision I have to make. So if the even number is there, even roll number is there, then you should take one message box. You can just directly place in front of this symbol, and you can just put you are in a class A. And here you can put you are in a class B. So this is a very simple thing I'm doing. Let's run this workflow. So roll number I'm entering as a 2. You are in a class A. Now I'm entering 3. You are in class B. So if you want to repeat the same, you can just connect this. You can put the conditions. That is the latter part, but right now I'm just telling you how you can continue the workflow. Why flowchart is used. If I'm using 1, it will assign to class B. If it is 6, it's assigned to A. So this will continue until and unless you are having students. We can put the condition for that. But understood what is the basic purpose of this using flowchart? Hello. Guys, any questions? Any doubts, any questions, or you are good?
Mainly we use only for conditional purpose only, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Only conditional purpose. You know, both are same. Sequence and flowchart, both activities are same. There is nothing different. Only this activity is different. That is not in a sequence. That is a flow decision. Because here we are taking decision. Other activities like input dialog box, message box, all activities are same. Nothing is different. Okay, sir. Fine. Then this is the second type of workflow, that is a flow chart. Let me comment this again. And third type of activity is a state machine. So this is a very important type of activity. Generally, we are referring this type of activities in a RE framework, robotic enterprise framework. Right now, just general concept I'm telling you, but in detail or in if you want to understand in a better manner, you can just go to RE framework. RE framework is based on this state machine only, but basic concept I'll explain here. In state machine, what is happening? You can see state machine is like a flow chart, but whenever there are some transitions from one state to another state, this state machine is used. For example, let's see, in first state there is some amount, and that amount is fixed amount. Let's say there is a 2000 you are entering first time. If amount is 2000 and you want to purchase the item of 2500, is it possible? It is not possible, right? And if you want to purchase the item of, let's see, 500 or 1000, that is possible. So that you can do. So for state machines, you have two important things. If you'll search in a state, there are two states. First one is a state and second one is a final state. So final state is used at a last operations you can click enter in a final state, and whatever the intermediate operation you can use state activity. This is bit complex, but you just remember right now this is not necessary, so don't confuse. You just for the awareness purpose I'm explaining you what is a state machine and how to use that. So in state you can find there are three different blocks. First one is the entry, second one is exit, and third one is a transition. So exit generally we are not using, only entry we are using in a state. So this is very important block, and this one is also important. Transitions means how you are moving from one state to another state. So let's say I want to move from this state. I'm renaming this one as a init. Just a second. Init state. Again, I am taking another state. Deleting the same. State 2 and state 3, that is a final state. So sometimes what happens, if your conditions are not meeting in init state, so you can directly move your flow to the final state. If your conditions are meeting, then you can go to the state 2 and then you can end with final state. So end state is a mandatory. In init state, let's see, you can do the same activities. For example, input dialog box. Here you are entering amount. After doing this, you can understand. Amount, that should be integer, and scope you should define as a outer one, sequence, because there should be some issues. Just a second. Okay. So in init state, you are entering some amount. Okay. And if in condition, you can put these two are conditions. First is going to final state, second one is going to the state 2. So if amount is, you can click on T2 and put the condition like if amount is less than 500 or 5,000, whatever, then you are going to which state? You can click on this T2. If amount is less than 500, then you are going to, your transition is final state. And you can put the second condition for this T1. If the amount is greater than or equal to 500. So if amount is less than 500, since you are not eligible to buy any item, that will be directly go to the final state. And if amount is greater than 500, you can buy some item. You can just put any message box. You can purchase. So this is a simple thing I'm telling you. This is not that much complex. And at last, your control will go to the final state. And final state, there is only entry. There is no any other thing. Processing is completed. I'll explain you by running this flow. Now, what is happening here? You are entering some amount. Let's see, you are entering 700. 700 means that is a greater than 500. Then you can purchase the item because we have put already condition in T1. Then you can purchase here. You can put some condition or whatever processing you have to do. You can process here and go to the end process. If you don't have sufficient balance, then you can directly go into last or final state. Let me run the workflow. You can understand that in better way. Let's say I'm entering 300. Processing completed because you don't have amount. If I am entering another amount, let's see 700, you can purchase, and at last processing completed. Understood what I have done? This is a bit complex as compared to state sequence and flowchart, but 90% we are using sequence and flowchart. Any doubts, please? Guys, understood what I had done? Simply, I have taken this state machine activity and whatever the states I want, I have taken. And I'm just entering. There are 3 different blocks available in any state machines. First one is a entry, second one is exit, and third one is a transition. Don't worry about this transition because transitions are how you are connecting your block. That means third thing you don't worry. Second and third thing you don't worry. Just check only entry and check this entry only. And here you are entering whatever you are entering the amount. This is first thing. And here you are putting the condition. After clicking there, you can just go in condition only. Don't think about other things or other blocks. You just go in a condition. Amount is less than 500, then it will directly go to the state. So when you click, this transition automatically creates. Understood? Any doubts?
Sir, you are commenting that sections. What does that mean?
These are the older one. This don't consider this one. Why I commented? Because I don't want to
Okay.
go these blocks. We are just
Okay.
concentrating on state machine only.
Okay. Got it. And if we need to edit that conditions, then we need to click on that T1 and T2, right?
Exactly. If we want to put, let's say I want
Mhm.
to in place of amount
So,
400, we can click and just enter. Let's
so,
see 600.
so it's a single click or double click?
A single click. You can just
Okay.
any other doubt. I'll send you this workflows today so that you can just go through these workflows, right?
Yeah, sure.
And you can just enable this comment, because already I have commented, but state machine is only enabled. You can do accordingly and you just check in your system. Fine. Any other doubt? If no, today we'll conclude to today's session, and from next session onwards we can have little bit longer session, and we can yeah, interactive session is needed from my side. I think if you are speaking, then it is good. You are asking doubts, then that is good. Okay,
Okay, sir.
sure. Then